let me go to Ras Mubarak and do this quick and fast.
Easy.
In terms of the legalization of the herb, what we heard a couple of days ago from Parliament and all that.
Easy.
I would like to find out from Ras Mubarak. You being the former MP of Kumbugu, you understand me? You know the law and all that, you understand me? And reggae people are proud to have such a man, representing, I in that particular space. You understand me? I would like to find out from you, what exactly did the law says? Because from some of the WhatsApp groups I am in, look like people are blind. Mm-hmm. And people, have taken this on another tangent, which I believe is not supposed to be so. So, Mubarak, tell me, what exactly does the law says?
So, first of all, let me salute my brother Bernard.
Yeah.
And brother Campbell.
All right.
Bernard and I go way back.
Yes,
and we've been talking about returning to Africa for many, many years. The last time I saw him was in New York in 2014, I think. So I'm so glad that finally he's made that giant step of coming home to Africa, and we are so glad to receive him. And we use this opportunity to encourage all brothers and sisters, to come back home to Africa.
Definitely.
Africa is calling.
Definitely.
Now,
I second that, yes.
Yes, indeed. In respect of your question, I'm proud to tell you that the section in the Narcotics Control Act is my baby, is the baby of my brethren Etubonde, James Agalga, and a few of us who thought that the time had come for a country such as Ghana with its arable land, to begin the processes of decriminalization of cannabis, so that we can get the full benefits thereof. So in the year 2020, we passed the law.
All right.
I was in Parliament, and
all right.
It was an exciting thing. We thought that we were going to begin planting our stuff and earning an income. Unfortunately, somebody went to the Supreme Court, and as you know the story, the Supreme Court delayed the process of actualizing the full benefits of the decriminalization process. But long story short, it came back to Parliament. Kudos to the Minister for Interior and the government, because for a bill to come to Parliament, it first has to be discussed at cabinet level.
Definitely.
So the entire government, believes in the seeds that we sowed.
All right.
And this law gives everyone who is interested in cultivating cannabis for industrial and medicinal purpose
not recreational.
All
right.
Come to that.
All right.
To acquire license.
All right.
From the Ministry of Interior, who would grant them license, and they'll be cultivating cannabis with 0.3% THC. So it means if you even go and do a 0.5 or 1% THC, you're falling foul of the law.
Definitely.
We were very careful in focusing on industrial cannabis.
Definitely.
Because look, there are so many graduates, young people, ably-bodied, who should be working, who have finished school and don't have the opportunity of having a job.
Definitely.
All of these people could be given a leg in the door. If more and more factories are established. Imagine a cannabis factory that makes paper, or that makes oil, or that makes deodorant, or
definitely
shampoo. They would employ watchmen or security officers.
Of course.
They would employ drivers. They would employ administrators, HR staff, accountants, etc. They would employ, the technical people, the chemists, who would be in the laboratory, to mix up things, to turn it into whatever finished product. They would even employ marketers and, salespeople. So there's a long chain of benefits that a country like Ghana and other parts of the world, we hope that other parts of Africa would learn from Ghana, can accrue from the decriminalization process. Already, there are industrial cannabis products in the market. I mean, go to any hairdresser salon, you would see products like Kuza.
Yeah.
Our sisters and wives and mothers use it.
Yeah, definitely.
So if we're importing all of these things into our country,
definitely,
we might as well make them here so that we can create jobs for the youth them. You know, so that was the vision.
Okay.
You know, and if you look at medicinal cannabis, there are all the eye drops that are in the system, you know, in many pharmacies up and down the country.
Definitely.
So we are not doing something exclusively new, except that we are saying, in view of the fact that our economy is where it is, in view of the fact that we need more resources to build schools, to build hospitals, to build roads, you know, we need to get the youth them off the streets.
Definitely.
So we must think industrial instead of recreation. This is not a time for African youth to be having fun. This is a time for African youth to build.
Definitely.
You know, and one of the things that we can learn from our oppressors is that they think generationally. So somebody from Europe would not think exclusively of himself, but he'll be thinking about legacy, you know, something that his children's children can come and benefit from. And I think the time has come for us as Africans, especially, you know, people my age, to be forward looking, you know, and to think about what we would bequeath our children in the future. So we put in place the building blocks. Tomorrow they'll be singing our praise if we do it right. You know, today, everywhere you go around the world, people are talking about Nkrumah. They made sacrifices.
Definitely.
And our generation has to make those sacrifices to get us to the promised land.
Definitely.
So it has nothing to do with recreational cannabis. I mean, recreational cannabis is where the money is.
Definitely.
You know, but you want to be sure that you have your building blocks in place first, you know, before you give people an opportunity to go about having fun with recreational cannabis.
All right. So as I'm reading from Ghana Web, as the Interior Minister said, Ambrose Derry, he said, clarified that the amendment bill does not aim to legalize the recreational use of cannabis, but rather provide a framework for the issuance of special licenses for the cannabis production.
Too true.
So please, get to youth. What I'm seeing in some WhatsApp groups and all that, please, I don't like it. Please, don't let the law hold you.
Even, you know, there are punishments as well for those who decide to do the wrong thing. You know, you could be looking at, you know, a term imprisonment. We don't want to lock up our kids. You know, we don't want the children, you know, young people ending up in prison when they could be productive. So let's be respecters of the law. And in due season, every other thing shall be added unto us. But for now, the focus has to be, and this is the time that all of those young people who have finished school and are not doing anything, this is the time for them to be creative. You know, they can even come together, form cooperatives, get an acre or 2 or 10 or 20 or 30 somewhere, start, you know,
planting,
turning the soil around, you know, because there's money in it.
Definitely.
You know, and I believe it would serve as huge empowerment for our people. I mean, back in the day when, you know, people used to make a lot of money from oil, you know, in places like the United States of America, it became a huge thing for families and for individuals who started it earlier, you know. And so if you're a young man listening, an opportunity beckons for you to grab this one, and I believe Lagazee will be looking for some 100 acres in Volta region and calling me to get some investors to put in some money.
You don't see it.
We must. Look, if we really want to make changes, if we want to make Africa what it is, then we've got to move away from the dependency syndrome. You know, we depend so much on the West to take care of the things that we can take care of ourselves. Africa is blessed with natural resources and with the human resources, you know, to create an enabling environment to build Africa. And we can do this, hand in hand with our brothers and sisters from the diaspora. One of the fascinating things that Nkrumah did that we have refused to follow suit is to tap into the expertise of our brothers and sisters from the diaspora.
That's true.
So he had people like Pat Moore who were behind the scenes, helping him do things.
Definitely.
There are many Ghanaians and other nationals of African descent who live in the West, who've got some expertise, who can help us build the country.
All right.
We mustn't make the building of Africa an exclusive preserve of Africans in Africa.
But
let's bring them home.
But is it easy to get license?
It should be easy. As a matter of fact, one of the concerns, and I can tell you that if they don't do it, people like myself would be up in arms, with the Ministry of Interior to do the right thing. Because the vision was to have everyone have access to these licenses. We don't want some few group of people monopolizing and controlling it and keeping the rest of the masses.
Definitely.
This is for the masses.
Of course.
Right? Many of our people don't have money to invest in the oil sector.
Definitely.
It's the multinationals who have taken over that sector.
Definitely.
So this one here,
after the people,
after within that,
Ras Mubarak, before we check out finally, Jerry Chichidudu says, I want to say a massive respect to the Honorable for the initiation and also the education. One cocoa full basket.
Yes.
We will get
one cocoa full of
basket. Man, he said we will get recreational when the time tells. All right. Joel Bright says, Lagazee, we will want to start tilling the soil.
Easy.
And then Maria Bano says, wise said.
Easy.
All right. We give thanks. We're going for
Lagazee. Let me thank you very much. I mean, this was supposed to be half hour.
Of course.
We've done over an hour, I believe.
Definitely.
So I want to thank you very much for your generosity.
Respect.
For accepting to invite Bernard at very short notice.
Definitely.
One love every time. Man.
I know.
Keep up the good work.